Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've spent more than 5 minutes scrolling through social media lately, you've probably seen some mind-blowing gardening hacks. You know the ones: bury a whole raw egg under your tomato plant, blend banana peels into a smoothie for your soil, or scatter Epsom salt like confetti. They promise overnight miracles and bumper crops for $0, but today we need to have a serious, science-backed chat. A lot of these viral DIY trends are actually doing absolutely nothing for your plants, or worse, they might be actively harming your soil. I know it hurts to hear. We all want an easy, cheap way to feed our backyard farms, but a massive wave of science-focused gardeners and horticulturalists are pulling back the curtain on these myths using basic chemistry and biology. Today we're going to debunk the two biggest viral hacks using actual science, explain why your plants can't eat kitchen scraps raw, and look at how targeted, test-backed amending is the real secret to a thriving garden. Let's start with myth number 1, the legacy eggshell trick. The internet loves telling you to crush up raw eggs and toss them into the planting holes to prevent blossom end rot in tomatoes. The logic seems sound, right? Blossom end rot is caused by a lack of calcium, and eggshells are packed with calcium. Here's a science reality check. Eggshell calcium is in the form of calcium carbonate. This compound is practically insoluble in water. For a plant to absorb calcium, that molecule has to break down into a charged calcium ion, basically dissolved in soil water. How does that happen? It requires intense soil acidity and a lot of time. Unless your garden soil has a highly acid pH well below 5, those crushed eggs are going to sit in your dirt completely unchanged for literally years if your tomatoes are starving for calcium right now. Burying an eggshell is like handing a starving person a locked safe full of food without giving them the combination. Myth number 2 is just as popular. Blending banana peels into a liquid slurry to give your plants a quick boost of potassium. Here's why this fails from a biological standpoint. Plants cannot absorb organic matter directly. They don't have the mouths for it, and they don't have digestive tracts. The potassium in a fresh banana peel is locked up in a complex molecular chain in organic cellular structures. For the potassium to become bioavailable, which just means in the form of the plant roots can actually suck up, those large molecular chains have to be completely broken down by soil microbes, fungi, and bacteria. When you pour a raw banana smoothie directly onto your garden beds, you aren't feeding the plant. You're inviting fruit flies, mold, and potentially harmful pathogens to the backyard buffet. Plus, as microbes rush in to break down that heavy organic matter, they can actually temporarily tie up the nitrogen in your soil, leaving your plants deficient in the short term. So what is the alternative then? The massive trend moving through the gardening community right now is a shift away from random internet hacks and toward targeted, test-backed amending. Think about it this way. You wouldn't take random prescription medications without getting a blood test from a doctor first. So why are we dumping random household items into our soil without knowing what is actually going on and what it actually needs? When you guess, you risk toxic over-fertilization. For example, dumping too much Epsom salt into your garden because an online video told you to can create a massive excess of magnesium. That excess actually blocks your plant's ability to take up calcium, ironically causing the very blossom end rot you were trying to prevent. Fortunately, getting this right is incredibly easy and highly rewarding. Here are the action steps you can take this week to transition your backyard farm or garden from a guessing game to a science-backed success. Step 1. Get a laboratory soil test. Step away from the cheap DIY plastic test kits at the big box stores. They are notoriously inaccurate. Instead, search online for your local University Cooperative Extension office or soil biome consultancy's biological assessment, or you make sure to use a certified private soil lab for around $20 to $30. They will send you a detailed breakdown of your exact soil pH, micronutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and critical micronutrients. Step 2. Decode your results and by targeted amendments. If your lab reports say your soil is already high in phosphorus, you know to avoid fertilizers with high middle number like bone meal. If you generally lack calcium, the lab will tell you exactly how much agricultural lime or gypsum to apply per square foot to fix that issue safely and effectively. Step 3. Use your kitchen scraps the right way by composting them. Eggshells, banana peels, and coffee grounds are fantastic resources for the garden, but they must go through the hot composting process first. Let the microbes do the heavy lifting of breaking down those complex molecular structures in a compost pile over several months. Once it transforms into rich, dark humus, then you can spread it over your garden beds. That is how you feed the soil biology properly. At the end of the day, targeted amending saves you time, saves you money, and prevents you from accidentally polluting your local watershed with excess fertilizers. Your garden isn't a laboratory for viral experiments. It's an ecosystem. Let's feed it with facts, not trends. When soil thrives, everything else follows.